realize it's like when.
And it came through
The prophet.
yeah, came through Dylan's word.
It did.
That was powerful too. I knew it was the anointed word.
I want to hear the word.
Well,
Now let him talk.
Okay.
Bill's doing it here.
so when he talks about having a plan, I had a plan, but it was like the plan that I had was like out of my mind. Like it was like we had a mental plan, and I'm like, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and you know everything kind of sounded good here, but I didn't have a revelation of it. And I'm trying to give you a little, not to belabor all the crap, but the fact is, I've lost the passion for my work, and these guys are having to carry my burden. That my job for being a remodeling guy, while I had slowly, and it's so profound. I mean, it's so simple. Yeah, so existential. I mean, it's like so simple. But I didn't get it. Like I couldn't. Dylan's been talking to me about this for months, as he usually does about things. But I just didn't get it, and it's my fault that I didn't get it. But he's been talking to me about being a designer. Like it's like we run a remodeling business, but it's like you're a designer trying to play designer. You know, it's so ridiculous. It's not like, it's like I get it now. Okay, so he's been talking to me about. It's like I've lost touch with being a remodeling contractor, and I can see it now because the fact is that it's easy for me to be in design and sales because it's easy, and I get to be slothful, and I get to hang out with people and talk to them and everything else while they're doing the hard work. Now, granted, there's a place for me to be out of the field because there's a lot to do, but this is so great because yesterday he's like, "What's your plan?" And I'm trying to lay out this plan, and it's just like, you know, and he's like, and what he said was, "You're like a guy." This is like just the way he said it. It was like it was so great. He goes, "You're like the guy who owns a bunch of planes, and it's like you got a bunch of pilots, but it's like you're not a pilot, and yet you're trying to tell the pilots how to fly." And he's like, "It's great that you can own a bunch of planes," and the pilots are saying, "Don't go fly into that storm." But I got the planes. I want to go through that storm, so you guys better figure it out. And it's like just losing touch. And anyway, so after we left, it's like, and this is sorry, it's like kind of ridiculous because like I'm sitting there like, and he's like, "Really, what's your passion? You know, we can't be the passion for your business. It's like either be a designer or be a contractor. You can't do both because, I mean, granted, I can be a contractor and design, but I can't be a designer and play contractor. Okay, it's just.
Well, yeah, it's like you said. Who are you?
Yeah.
Are you a carpet salesman? Are you a tile salesman? What are you? Who are you?
And yeah, and I couldn't answer him. I really I couldn't answer you because the fact is, I was all those things. Yes.
Something like these guys.
I'm glad you find these. Yeah. So I left, and my words were like, "All right, I'm going to get passionate, okay? I'm going to find my passion, you know, it's like, I'm going to do it." And it's like, I didn't even believe what I said, you know, it's like, and I leave, I'm like, "Jesus, you're going to have to help me here, because I didn't disagree with anything, you know, he said. I couldn't argue with it. And even Joe said, you know, you're sloppy, basically, like, you're lazy, you take your ease, you know, when things go well, rather than pushing through and really, you know, setting your focus to just finish with the rest of the crew, it's like you just, David, stay home kind of thing. It's like, and then everybody else has to take the responsibility. That's my job, and I wasn't doing my job. And so I left, and I'm talking to the Lord because even though I felt like the Lord was speaking to me, obviously, I mean, he was speaking to me, but I didn't have a revelation of it. I didn't know what to do. And after a couple hours, it's like I'm talking to it, and at one point I call him up, and I'm like, "Can I come back up and talk to you?" Because it's like I'm struggling. Now he thought I meant like I have a like I disagree with some of it, but I agree with parts of it, and so that's what he thought I meant, but really I was just saying, I'm just like stuck. Like I didn't know what to do. Like, what do you do with it? When somebody gives you a hard word, you're just like, sometimes you just like, I don't know.
Paralyzed.
I was stuck, and so I call him up, and he's like, I've said everything I have to say, you know, and I think you just need to walk and pray. And I was like, you know what, you're right. So I'm on my way back to the store, and I'm talking to the Lord, and I'm like, Jesus, please help me to see this. Help me, you know, I don't know what to do. And the one word came back to me.
Yeah.
Like, when you don't know what to do, or if you don't have the entire picture, just start with what you do know. Right?
Yeah.
I tore into that store, and I ripped out the carpet samples. I mean, I ripped out everything that had to do with flooring except for tile, because we kind of have to deal with tile, right? But I mean, I walked into that back room, and I'm ripping the carpets coming out, and it was like, I was so excited. I mean, I called Shannon, and I'm like, hey, can the kids come down? I need some help, because there's way too much stuff here. So Eric, Anna, Sydney, they show up within 20 minutes, they're there, and I mean, that dumpster was like mounded up, okay, in like less than an hour. And it was so great because first Sydney asked me, like, why are we doing this? I said, I'll tell you later. I waited for a little while later, then Anna comes up to me, she's like, Uncle Jared, why are we doing this? And I said, because I don't want to be a salesman anymore. I want to be a contractor again. And I said it with such a, like, not like an angry man, like it sounded like, for God's sake, why are you asking me? When I said it with just, it's kind of like when you're fed up with where you're at, and you're just like, I'm mad as hell, I'm not going to do it. It was like that. I just said it with I just said, I'm not going to be a salesman anymore. But I didn't say it like, sorry, I'm saying it with more force than I said it last time, okay? I really wasn't angry.
George Bailey, it's a wonderful life.
I just said, because I don't want to be a salesman anymore, I'm going to be a contractor. And I clean out everything. Every, like, laminate, hardwood flooring, every rack, everything, to the point where the dumpster's full, and we still got a giant pile by the door. Now the great thing is I knew that the truck was coming first thing in the morning, so that was perfect, but we still filled up the dumpster probably about a third of the way this morning. But it was so great because I got it. And I saw what I realized, okay, so, sorry, I'm trying not to belabor this, but it's so,
You can.
okay, so all night I'm getting vision for like the future, the plan. The Lord's giving me revelation of the plan of being a family business, bringing my family into it. I start thinking about pictures of me working with my kids and putting them up on the wall, and pictures working with the guys, and just being a family.
Yeah.
And I got so excited, it's like I couldn't sleep because I'm just thinking of all these pictures and just working together and having a different vision of being what the Lord's called me to be again. And so this morning I'm looking through these pictures, and I see this picture of me and Sydney, and I see this shirt. And it just like I like that shirt, you know. It's like, but I hadn't worn it in years, right?
It's like the shirt a contractor would wear.
Exactly. I didn't think like that at first. I just put the shirt on over my collared shirt, and I was like, it just feels good. Like I don't like this. And I put my work shoes on. I got rid of the stupid shoes, you know. That you talked to me about. Like,
I wear these shoes, they're uncomfortable. I like the way they look. Only you could afford to do that because you don't have to be on your feet.
Ancient words ever true. Right?
At least you have somebody that loves you enough to tell the
Changing
truth and
me,
not bail on you.
I don't know. So I put on my work. So this morning I put on my work shoes. I'm like, I'm never wearing these again. At least I'll wear them fashionable, but not to work. So I dressed like a contractor. It was like night and day difference in the way I felt today.
And that's, I just bring back to your own testimony. That's the testimony that you had when you were a young guy, that you stopped wearing club clothes and you bought a bunch of Carhartt clothes and work boots and started, and it changed your.
And that came back to me today too. It was because I was telling her about it on the way here because I had kind of feminine spirit, you know, I just had these clubbing shirts, you know, like tight fitting, all this crap, you know, and the Lord just, and I didn't know any different, just the Lord just said, I want you to wear Carhartt stuff. So I'm wearing the most manly, like, shirts that you could possibly wear, and pants, double knee, you know, Carhartt pants, and it was like, this feels awesome, you know, and after a couple weeks, all of a sudden, I just realized all my shirts look kind of femmy. I'm throwing all these shirts away and realized that spirit had come off me.
Yeah, yeah.
And but so that came back to me today, and it was great because I didn't get what he meant when he was talking about being a designer. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a designer, but like I had the spirit of a designer. Okay, I started fashioning my dress the way a designer. I started talking like a designer, acting like a designer, and contracting was just kind of a back burner. Nah, I'll play contractor today, but when I'm showing up to the job, meeting these guys, it's like there's got to be a disconnect between. I guarantee you, they ain't respecting the guy showing up in decorative shoes. You know what I'm saying? You might as well show up with clown shoes and squeak and walk. I mean, so I
Amen.
not doing that anymore. Anyway, so it was great because I was so excited I had to call him because it is later as the day progressed. That movie, and some of you, I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen it, but The Devil's Advocate popped in my head, and I haven't seen that movie for like 20 years.
Don't see it.
Don't see it. But there's a point. This wife, the guy's wife was like really, really sweet, had a good spirit, you know, at the very beginning. Then they moved to New York, and then slowly, the way she dressed, the way she acted, you know, slowly tried to transition her into being somebody different. And that's what the Lord showed me, is that over a period of time, I started slowly transitioning into a designer and away from my calling and away from the brethren. And it's isolated myself from relationships, isolated myself from the brotherhood, and it's made things about me. And you know what? Not anymore. And anyway,